Today we're working on Excel Chapter 1 Portfolio Builder. So this is what you should have opened up. Go ahead and save the file with your initials to your OneDrive, and then we'll do step 3, which is insert a header with your name at the left, current date in the center, page number in the right. Go back to normal view. Step 4 says insert a column to the left of column C. So I'm just going to click up here on C so it highlights that column. Then I'm going to right click and I'm going to click insert, and that has inserted a blank column. Step 5 says use flash fill to fill the range C9 to C12 with combined text from columns A and B. So in order to do that, I'm going to click right here in this cell, C9, and what I'm doing is I want to reference the items that are to the left of it. So I'm going to type rent, make sure you capitalize rent, and then apartment, and hit enter. Then you have rent and apartment, and we're going to highlight down to C12 because that's what it wants us to copy. I'm going to click data, and then I'm going to click flash fill right here, and it automatically fills what's in the cells to the left of it. That is how you flash fill. Step 6 says copy the data from the range C9 to C12 and paste it to the range A9 to A12. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy, I'm going to go over here to A9, I'm going to right click, I'm going to paste, and that will paste what we just flash filled. Step 7 says to resize column A, so I'm just going to double click up here between the A and the B, and that resizes that so it fits. Step 8 says to delete columns B and C, so I'm just going to highlight columns B and C, I'm going to right click, I'm going to delete them. Step 9, we need to be in cell B7, so that's this cell right here. And we're going to enter the formula equals B5 plus B6. And then it wants us to fill the formula across through cell G13. So I'm going to click the bottom of this cell right here and drag it over to G13. And that will fill. And if you look at each one of these, you will see that it's got the formula in it. Step 10, in cell B13, so click right here in B13, we're going to enter a formula that sums B9 to B12. So I'm going to click on formulas, I'm going to click auto sum, and that automatically references these items, which I need it to. So I'm going to hit enter, and then I'm going to fill that formula across through G13. Step 11 says insert a blank row above the expenses row. So here's the expenses row. So I'm just going to click right here on the 8. I'm going to right click. I'm going to click insert. That inserts above that. Step 12 says review the items in the expenses section. You realize that the gifts row really belongs in the income area. So it's talking about this row right here. Gifts would not be an expense, it would be income because it's money coming into you. So step 13 says insert a new row 6. Drag and drop the data in row 13 to row 6 and then delete the blank row 13. So I'm going to go up here, I'm going to insert a new row 6. You can do this however you want. I'm going to do it by right clicking and cutting it, going up here, right clicking and pasting it, and that puts all the correct information in that row. You can use whatever method you so desire. And then delete the blank row 13. So I'm going to click on that row, right click, delete. Step 14 says to click cell B8. So when I click on cell B8, it says review its formula in comparison with the original formula you created in step 9. Because it's total specific cells, it does not include the gifts data that you have moved to the income section. Edit the formula to to correct the calculation, then copy or fill it across the row. So you see here it's only adding B5 and B7. We added this B6. So several different ways you can do it. I'm just going to click plus B6 and hit enter. And that enters those three. And then you have to fill it across. And so all of your cells now should reference three different things. Step 15 in cell B15, so right here, enter a formula that subtracts the expense subtotal from the income subtotal and fill it across. So I'm going to click equals expense from income total. So the income total is B8 minus the expense subtotal is B14 and hit enter. And then we're going to fill that across. And you see you have formulas on all of these. Step 16, add a blank row above the surplus row. So I'm going to click right here on the 15, right click and click insert, and we now have a blank row there. Step 17, apply a different theme to the workbook. So you just click on page layout and then click themes, and you can select whatever theme you want. I'm going to select Ion. But you can select whatever theme you want. Step 18, format the labels as desired and apply the accounting format with 0 decimal places to the numeric data. So it's telling you that you can bold these, you can do whatever. I'm just going to take my budget one, I'm going to make it bold, and these I'm going to make them italicized. Can't really see a whole lot in that. And the dates, I'm going to make those bold, underlined. Whatever it is you want to do, just as long as you've done something and I can see that you've done something to those. And then apply the accounting format with 0 decimal places to the numeric data. So I need to highlight all of these numbers. Go up here and I'm going to click number dialog box. I'm going to select accounting and it says 0 decimal places. So I'm going to change that to 0 and then click OK. And you can see that they all have a $sign now. Step 19 says to hide row 2. So I'm going to click up here, right click on the row, and I'm going to click hide, and you'll see that moved that up. That row is now hidden. Step 20 says to display formulas. So I'm going to click formulas, and I'm going to click show formulas, and you can see that it now shows the formulas instead of the numbers. Preview the sheet, scaling it to fit the sheet on one page with the formulas displayed. So I'm going to click file and then print. Change this to fit sheet on one page, and you can see that it does that. Step 22 says with your teacher's permission print it, but you know we're not going to print it. So just go back and we're going to save the file and we're going to submit it, and that completes the end of chapter Portfolio Builder.